you've migrated. Not only is he an analyst, he's also...
I'm literally migrating now.
A little bit of a weatherman. And you can go ahead and hang out with Janko as he's got something to break down.
Yes. So this is one of the rounds. It's actually round number 10. And it's where NIP goes for this. You think it's a set A strat with smokes and everything because they did execute something similar. And you can see actually how Lounge is adapting pretty well. They flash in Mihu through the smoke here to get some information, and he gets good info. But Get Right up here, being the sneaky player he is, he manages to get the drop on him. So now we can stop it here. So you see that because they had earlier pressure towards the B bomb site, you can see that Lounge is still committed here with 2 players, and actually Mouse is in this sneaky position behind the box. And he can't really move from there because they don't have information. Maybe someone is here, maybe someone can be even in vents because Innocent is moving. So even though Mihu gave information that there was only Get Right lurking in A main, so they might even think, exactly because it's Get Right, that the other players are rotating all the way towards B, which is a clear, which is something that you would expect probably, but actually NIP mind gamed them even further. They boosted up towards mid, have Pyth with the C4 who's gonna go here, and you will see after that, Innocent suspects it, but he's gonna get overrun. There's no support from other players, they're still stuck in the B bomb site. So after this point, you can also see, we will see that these smokes are still here, so that also limits the angles from which NIP players can be shot from. They can't be shot all the way from here with an op or somewhere in the bomb site. So now we can roll the rest of the clip and you can see how it plays out for NIP. Innocent drops here, and these are the smokes I was talking about. So this is pretty safe. They have 2 players in A main exactly to counter this some sort of flashing in, and it is just a beautiful round. By that time, the players who are all the way towards the B bomb site, they pretty much can't do anything. NIP can have any post-plant positions they want.
Come hang out with us, Janko. Come on,
easy
come
round.
back to us. Easy round and easy analysis. Thanks for that, dude. I'm a fan of that. I like this. Weatherman Janko, we're going to be doing that more, I think, as we get to see. I mean, that is the threat effect, right? It's safe to say.
That's totally different from what you would have seen from NIP the last 2 years. Like, one thing they did there, obviously, was not only did they have the smoke strat and the split, but they had map pressure. They understood when you put map pressure on a certain area, you essentially relieve it off another area where you can then go to that area and you'll be able to attack freely. So they held the other guys in the B site. They were able to take the mid approach to A there and get that flank on them. So the old NIP either went in like fairly dry. They used to just send Freiburg in after like 1 flash or something and he has to just kill people. Or they had map pressure, but it was all solely in Get Right. Like he essentially himself had to sort of know how to do that, like when to lurk to set up the other people. But that's not as good as well, because then the people who are going to the other site, they're not quite sure, what are you exactly doing for me here? Like, what am I supposed to be triggering off? So I think NIP, they used to get away with it because they had such fantastic players and Get Right was so good as the lurker. But when you have a structure like this, you can see, even if certain kills hadn't gone their way there, the round made sense. They would have had a number of chances to win that round, and it logically put them in a situation where they had a favorable attack on the site.
And you can see the thought process behind it, that before that, in previous rounds, they were putting a lot of pressure towards B, which forces the reaction from Lounge like this to have 2 players stationary there and not to move. And Get Right is, in my opinion, the best player at applying B pressure by himself. He throws the smoke towards the entrance, towards B, Molotov, towards checkers and so on. And often he even gets a kill there, which is not something he's required to do. He's just supposed to apply pressure. And that in turn forces a reaction like this, which allows NIP then to go for an execute. You see how it goes, and it just shows the amount of that NIP has right now in their play.
Closing thoughts on Lounge, right? We're waving goodbye to them. Robin, what have we learned from the Polish side's 2 games here in DreamHack Malmö?
I mean, I don't think we could actually expect them to actually go out of groups. They played Astralis first and then now ended up playing versus NIP. Clearly better teams than Lounge. I think coming back from the event now, they have a lot to go through. Probably a lot of improvements to be made. We'll see if they keep the core 5. But overall, I think that we're talking about top-tier teams here, top 10 teams, both of them, versus Lounge, that's a top 20 team. You will see a clear difference.
It would have been fairer if they'd have gotten to play Dignitas. A lot of us predicted NIP to win that game. If they'd have played Dignitas here, I think at least they could have had a chance. The map pool would have been more interesting because Dignitas is more of a limited map pool. As we're saying here, they managed to get NIP on a map that maybe they felt comfortable, but it's one of the better maps for NIP, and it's one where we have seen the most application of threats approach. So I don't feel like they were ever in the game, unfortunately.
Thanks very much, gents, especially you, Janko, liking that. We are going to be taking a break, though. And before we do do that, I do need to remind you where you can get all your stats, news, articles, and all of that CS good stuff over at The Score eSports. You can go ahead and grab that one. Before we dive into a very exciting game for very many reasons, I said I wanted more drama in CS. Kyoshima going up against his old team. Now we're going to be having FaZe, Envy. We're going to be having all of that drama and more coming up after the break. So tune yourselves in, guys. Do not move a muscle, and we're back with FaZe versus Envy.